Welcome back to the Big Weekend Show. Kamala Harris has Gold Star families outraged tonight because she attacked former President Trump's visit to Arlington National Cemetery to honor their loved ones. A lengthy post on X from the VP this weekend reads in part, quote, "Let me be clear. The former president disrespected sacred ground, all for the sake of a political stunt. This is nothing new from Donald Trump. This is a man who has called our fallen service members suckers and losers and disparaged Medal of Honor recipients. This is a man who is unable to comprehend anything other than service to himself." The families of the 13 heroes killed in the botched Afghanistan withdrawal then recorded powerful messages calling out Kamala Harris.
I got to stop what I'm doing, spending time with what's left of my family, to address a heinous, vile, and disgusting post. Shows you how much you know about the 13 families. Why did we want Trump there? It wasn't to help his political campaign. We wanted a leader. That explains why you and Joe didn't get a call.
We invited President Trump. We are the ones that asked for the video and the pictures to be taken. President Trump has been there for us from the very beginning when our son and the other 12 of his brothers and sisters in arms were murdered due to your negligence and uncaring attitude towards our military.
Vice President Harris, I ask you, why won't you return a call and explain to us how you call my daughter-in-law's death a success? Vice President Harris, why will you not express your condolences yourself? Why have we never heard from you?
Alicia, those are some harsh words for the vice president. And I will tell you that I watched all of those videos, and their anger, their sadness, it's palpable.
I know, and they've already been through so much, and to imagine that they're being put through even more pain and more frustration is actually just heartbreaking, especially when you consider that they are saying that they invited him, and Democrats and the vice president are treating the situation like it was about Trump, and they're putting that on him when the families are saying, actually, it was about us, and we wanted him there because we're in pain and we don't feel acknowledged. And to go just one step further here, the vice president felt compelled to put this tweet or this statement out, right? But you got to wonder, why didn't someone reach out to these families first and ask them how they were feeling about this before putting it out there and making it just all the more worse for them?
Yeah, Joey, what are your takes on these?
Listen, the last time I went to a burial, and I've gone to several of people I knew personally at Section 60, I had to walk through a picket line of Westboro Baptist Church members saying death to the troops, he got what he deserved, death to fags, death to service members, all their signs. That's what they put out there. They did it because they know that they can sue, because they're constitutionally protected to do that in the public space. I don't remember President Obama going to the bully pulpit and being so upset that I had to roll my wheelchair past people saying hateful things to me to watch my buddy get buried and console his mother. I don't remember President Obama getting upset when he, I guess, accidentally put the barriers out around the memorials, the World War II memorials, in order to protest sequestration in 2012 that we went and took down one morning, and I was a part of that. What I'm getting at here is, no, he shouldn't have let his official photographer and videographer take pictures and photos of him in the cemetery, because that is against federal law. But why did he do it? He did it because they asked him to. Why was he there? He was there because they asked him to be there, and because this matters. They matter. Those families, I've spent time in a green room with those family members, not here at Fox at a charity event. I've watched them cry. I've watched them look at me in disgust on how they were treated by President Biden. President Biden talking to them about their loved ones that just died, saying that he understands how they feel because his son Hunter died in a hospital bed here in the States. They are hurt. They've never been made amends, and they wanted someone who might lead this country one day and remember their children to remember that day, and I'm glad he did it.
Well, Senator Cotton was on Meet the Press earlier, and this is what he had to say in response to President Trump's trip.
They wanted President Trump there. They wanted to take those photos. You know who the families also invited? Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Where were they? Joe Biden was sitting at a beach. Kamala Harris was sitting at her mansion in Washington, D.C.
They were with them at the dignified transfer.
Her and Joe Biden's incompetence, those 13 Americans were killed in Afghanistan.
Yeah, David, what do you think?
I'm with Joey in so many ways, and I'll add to this. When these families were in the aftermath of this, the Biden administration wasn't there just even to make sure the members got to Andrews. I know because it was my charity that paid for some of those expenses. Wounded Warriors Family Sport. When Riley McCollum's mom needed help, I was on the phone with her. When Matt Soviak's family needed help, it was a friend of mine who represented the Navy, sat down with them in Ohio. And I could go down the list, so many of them, where they were left out in the cold by this administration. I've been to Arlington for a number of ceremonies, number of times. I'll be back there again in about a month to record a video for Iwo Jima. Why? Because when asked to honor those that have served and paid the sacrifice, you do. And that's what President Trump did. And they asked for those photos. They asked for that memorial. And you're right, Joey, about the pictures. But there's a variance to those who have lost.
Can I just add really quickly, because Welker did say that they were both at the dignified transfer.
Well, hold on a second, but that's actually not true because
That's
the
not
press
true.
had to actually issue a correction on. They did so on X earlier today. On our broadcast this morning, we incorrectly implied that both President Biden and Vice President Harris attended the dignified transfer of 13 American service members killed during the Afghanistan withdrawal. Biden was in attendance, but Harris was not. So we'll just leave it at that.